Hello, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome back to the channel today. This is going to be your Wheel of the Year tarot spread for 2024. I have already shuffled my decks and gotten everything cleansed, so let's go ahead and start placing your cards. We're going to start by placing our cards, one for each of the 12 months that we will have here. We have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December here. You can see my space is a little bit kind of wonky. It's not really meant for a circle here, but we're working with what we got. We're also going to go ahead and place one card in the middle, and this card is going to be your main energy that we find here for 2024. So let's go ahead and get started with that first card here to see what we have in store energy-wise for you, Aries, for the whole of 2024. Okay, so Aries, here you have the High Priestess in reverse. So Aries, this here tells me that one of your main themes for 2024 is going to be learning how to trust your intuition. You may have had some time in your life recently where you have been questioning your intuition. You have been wondering whether what you have been connecting with has been truly your higher self. And you are a little bit unsure about what your intuition and what listening to that even looks like. So 2024 for you, Aries, is going to be a time in your life where you're starting to learn these skills and the voice within you that is your intuitive higher self. You're going to be learning how to listen to your intuition and how to work with your intuition. All right, Aries, that is your main energy for 2024. Let's go ahead and get started with our first card here for January. All right, January of 2024, Aries, you have Queen of Swords in reverse. So Aries, Queen of Swords in the upright is typically a card of following your instincts, having a clear-cut goal in mind, and a clear path forward with intention. This here in January says to me that you are unsure about your path forward. You're feeling very unclear about what it is that you want and where you are going. And this card here is to remind you that this card goes hand in hand with following your intuition, because in order to have a clear path forward, you have to be able to understand some part of your intuition. You have to be able to listen to it, because your intuition is going to be this guiding, driving force behind you that gives you clear thoughts, clear state of mind. So January for you, this card can also be a sign of being detached from your emotions. This can also be on the flip side of you being way too serious and not being able to connect with your emotions and trying to look at things from only a logical point of view. We need our emotions, and our emotions help guide us in the path the direction that we would like to go. And when you try to look at things from only an intellectual standpoint, your information gets stale, your viewpoint gets stale, and being able to look at this from a point of view that has a healthy balance between intellect and emotion is going to be helpful for you in January. Now, we're going to also pull a card for the beginning, middle, and end of January. So let's go ahead and pull our 3 cards. We have beginning, middle, and end. I will show you these cards up close. for the beginning of January here, Aries, you have the Three of Wands in reverse. So this probably does not come as a surprise to a lot of you. You may understand that you have just started on a new journey, or you're feeling called to start a new project. But this here tells me that you've had a false start. You have had, or have thought that you have had, all of these pieces, all of these puzzle pieces together, and now you are stalling. You feel the urge and the energy to start something new. You have the desire to, but something is holding you back from being able to do so. Something is holding you back from taking up. In the up right here, you can see this person has taken up a wand, which means that they have made a decision and have a clear path forward and a clear mindset. They have decided that they would like to keep exploring and have made the decision to keep moving forward. And in the reverse here, this card is saying that while you may have an idea or somewhat of an idea of where you would like to go, something is holding you back and keeping you from being able to move forward. With the middle of January, you have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So this thing that's keeping you from moving forward and taking up, making a definitive action, taking up your ability and really getting into this thing that you would like to start, is you may not be feeling emotionally full right now. You may be feeling drained and like you have no energy left to give. You may be feeling like you are extra tired, emotionally reactive at this time. And that is what this Knight of Cups in reverse is. This is your emotions and your cup, if you will, here, not being full. So something is going on here, Aries. You need to take some time to take care of yourself emotionally at this time. You need to have time to allow yourself to get better, do some self-care. Maybe you want to start on a daily yoga routine. Maybe this is taking more time to be intentional throughout your day. Whatever the case may be, you need to find something here that helps you rejuvenate yourself emotionally, something to rejuvenate your energy so that you have the ability to give emotionally to whatever this Wands task here is that you want to start. It's really hard to start a new plan and a new opportunity when you are feeling drained. It's really hard to have the energy to move into these decisive actions when you don't even know what to do to take care of yourself. And at the end of January here, you can see that we have this 10 of Swords in reverse, Aries. So this to me says that part of the reason that you are feeling drained emotionally is that you are bringing up something in the past that has drained you, something that is already done and over with. Typically, this card is to say that something has come to a painful ending. But for some reason here, Aries, you have not allowed this ending to commence. Something is going on. Maybe you keep thinking about the past and things that have gone on. Maybe you keep ruminating in what has happened in this situation. This energy here with the Ten of Swords is also being stuck in a past situation, ruminating over the past and not allowing yourself to move forward from what is already happened, what has already happened. So for the month of January for you, Aries, it looks like there's a lot of letting go here that needs to happen. And once you are able to allow yourself to let go from these things, you're going to be able to get that clear point of view, that clear path ahead towards your goal for later in the year. All right, let's put January's cards here. Let us move on to February. Okay, February for you, Aries, is the Sun in reverse. So The theme for February for you, Aries, is to be connecting with your happiness, your bright inner light, and learning to be okay allowing it to shine. This in the reverse, the sun in the reverse, tells me that you are not feeling as confident as you would like about a situation or about yourself. This also tells me that you might be feeling uninspired and emotionally drained. So for February, just keep that in mind moving forward. That we are beings who experience all ranges of emotions, and trying to force yourself to feel artificial happiness and trying to put on this face of being happy all the time is not realistic. No one is happy all the time, but learning to be okay and allowing yourself to be a human, be a person, allowing yourself the space to feel how you are feeling and to be okay with it. Don't try to be putting on this facade of happiness if happy is not what you are truly feeling. All right, let's go ahead and draw your 3 cards for beginning, middle, and end of February. All right, we love to see this. We finally have some upright cards for you here. You've had a lot of reversals today, Aries. Let's take a look. So, at the beginning of February, at the beginning of February here, you have the Ace of Swords. This is a clear idea. This is you finally getting through that mental fog that you have been feeling since January. This is you finally deciding to take decisive action towards something. The Ace of Swords is the first card in the Swords suit of the tarot deck. And this is meant to indicate a beginning, a new opportunity, and specifically for swords, a new idea. So something here is giving you this light bulb moment at the beginning of February. You get a breakthrough of your thoughts and thought patterns, which is then followed by, towards the middle of February, the Justice card in reverse. So after getting this new idea and inspiration, the Justice card in reverse is saying that you might be approaching this situation in an unbalanced way. This is a reminder for you to adjust accordingly and to check in with yourself and make sure that you are putting in the proper amount of effort towards your goals, whether that be making sure that you are staying on track and putting in effort, or whether it is you allowing yourself to take a break to avoid burning out from too much effort. Allowing yourself to have this space of even flow, effort in versus effort out, reward out from this situation. Figuring out how to toe that line of too much and not enough energy towards something. This Justice card in reverse is you learning where that line is with yourself, where that too much versus not enough is, and reevaluating and figuring out how you want to approach this new opportunity moving forward. And that reevaluation, that energy in the middle of February leads you to this Queen of Wands card here, which I love to see after feeling your, with your energy for the month of February being the Sun in reverse, to get the Queen of Wands at the very end of February tells me that you, despite going through all this process and this energy with this new idea, it leaves you with a newfound sense of confidence. This is you connecting with the parts of yourself that do allow you to shine brightly without feeling like you have to censor or temper your emotions to please others. You're not putting yourself into a small box to please other people anymore. And even though these are two different tarot decks here, they're both based off of the Rider-Waite tarot deck. This one here is the Rider-Waite-Smith, and this one is Mystic Monday's tarot deck here. But you can see here we have both of these themes of brightness and optimism. Yellows and orange in the tarot deck are meant to represent happiness and bright feelings. So this card here, that Queen of Wands, is you connecting with your true happiness, your true confidence, your abilities, and having the understanding that you do have what it takes to go through with this plan or this idea that you had in the beginning of February. All right. Lovely way to end February here. Let's move on to March. Aha! Okay, so March here, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. In February, beginning of February, you had the Ace of Swords at the beginning of your deck. And now we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So this tells me that maybe what you thought was a good idea or a new opportunity that occurred in February, at this point in March, for the month, you might be running into a little bit of trouble with this situation. And not necessarily bad trouble. You might be feeling a little overwhelmed with the new opportunity or new idea that you chose to take on for yourself. You might also be realizing that what you thought was a good opportunity is no longer what works for you or no longer something that you want to put energy into. You're having second thoughts about whatever it is that was your Ace of Swords moment at the beginning of February. It's not necessarily a good or bad sign. This right here is not saying whether or not you will continue with this. That is a personal decision that you will have to make for yourself after evaluating the pros and cons of this situation. But for March, this tells me here that you are at least reconsidering or thinking about your current Ace of Swords moment. All right, let's go ahead and pull our 3 cards for beginning, middle, and end of March. Okay. Alrighty, so for the beginning of March here, we have the Empress in reverse. Aries, you have a lot of reversals here today. I'm really interested to see what it is that's going on. But so far, you have quite a few reversals. Let's take a look at this Empress here. So the Empress card is very similar to the Queen of Wands card in the sense of connecting with your confidence and your abilities to do something. The Empress is specifically your ability to create new things and your ability to nurture these ideas or things into reality. So, with the Ace of Swords in reverse, this Empress card in reverse tells me that you may not feel as though you have the ability or the energy to nurture this Ace of Swords at this time. Something is going on where your cup is still feeling empty. You haven't really seen the changes that you want, and you are wondering, where is the line here? You're looking at this situation and feeling like you're not creating on the timeline that you have set for yourself. And on to the middle of February here, you have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So the Ace of Wands is another Ace card, another beginning. And the wands specifically are new ideas, inspirations, passions, and with both of these being in reverse, as well as your card of the month of March being the Ace of Swords in reverse, all three of those cards, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Empress, tell me that whatever you thought that you were doing before, you are not connected with your outcome right now. You are not connected with your inspiration behind the project with the Ace of Wands, and you are not connected with your ability to nurture this new idea into being. And so it's time for you to reevaluate towards the end of March here whether or not you want to walk away from this opportunity. The Eight of Cups here is one of your first uprights, other than the Queen of Wands. The Ace of Cups here at the end of March is telling me that you might actually end up walking away from this Ace of Swords situation, whether because you are feeling frustrated with being unable to produce the outcome that you wanted, or simply realizing that what you thought was for you is no longer serving you. And once you got into the middle of this situation, you realize that maybe it's not exactly all it's cut out to be, and you decide to move on for the betterment of yourself and your situation. Or at least to start contemplating whether or not you need to move on at this time. Let's see what you have in store for April. Let's see what moving on to April does for you with this situation here. Starting for April, you have the Nine of Wands. So, this card says that there is still some fight left in you towards this opportunity. You may be contemplating being done with it, but everything is not quite over yet. The Nine of Wands is setting up your defenses and preparing for another wave of battle. This is you preparing and getting things in a row here and fighting the good fight. This is the dawn before... This is the dark before the dawn, before you get to this point with this project. So this tells me that while you may be thinking about ending this Ace of Swords situation, where you may be thinking about ending this project or this opportunity, there is still some fight left in you, and you're not quite ready to see it end yet. You're still feeling like you want to hold on and defend in this situation. So let's go ahead and pull our 3 cards for April here and see what is in store after this situation. Okay. Wow, okay. Really, really interesting to me here. You have the Ace of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this is a really powerful time for you right now, Aries, to be connecting with your emotions. This is a time where you might be feeling emotionally drained. So this Ace of Swords situation, this Nine of Wands for the month of April, which is towards your birth month, by the way, Aries. So happy birthday if it's April for you Aries here. With these cups all being in reverse, you have the Ace of Cups, the beginning, and you have the 2 King and Queen court cards here, both in reverse, all 3 in reverse. So this tells me here that something is going on and you are not ready to face it emotionally. This Ace of Cups here is your emotions, your feelings towards this situation, this new opportunity to connect with your emotions and your doing the things that fill up your cup and reward you emotionally. And something is getting in the way of you being able to connect with these. This card, this Nine of Wands, of you not being willing to give up, is being further complicated by you attempting to refill yourself emotionally. So something about this situation, this opportunity that you've been trying to pursue, is leaving you really questioning whether or not this situation is worth your mental health. We also, in the earlier poll here for January, had the Knight of Cups in reverse. So we have almost all of the Cups Courts cards here. So this to me is really saying that you need to strongly evaluate whether or not this situation is good for you. You have been evaluating whether this situation is paying off emotionally. And with all three of these being in reverse, it's telling me that it's not paying off. Things are really complicated right now for you. You can be feeling emotionally drained, extra sensitive to criticism, and you might even be experiencing feelings of isolation. Cups is our emotions, our ability to love and allow our emotions to flow freely. So this is a blockage of emotions, a blockage of connections and deep feelings. You might even be trying to ignore your feelings on this situation to try to make somebody else happy. You might be feeling like you have no other choice but to keep pushing on simply because you're worried about the outcome of whatever this relationship is that is no longer serving you. I want to pull another card here from this for this situation. We're going to break out one of my other tarot decks here just so I can pull a clarifier. Yes, okay, so from my Wild Unknown tarot deck here, we pulled the Daughter of Wands in reverse, which in this tarot deck is equivalent to the Page of Wands in reverse. So you are definitely feeling uninspired with this project. You maybe at one point with the Ace of Swords thought that what you were doing was worth it, that you had this great new idea, and now you are feeling as though you don't have any more inspiration or motivation to keep working on this project. You are trying to look for the light again. You are trying to look for the fire or that spark, that ignition of the reconnection with your emotions, the inspiration behind this project in the first place. Because you didn't just decide to do this project willy-nilly. You didn't just decide to pull this situation out of your mind. You started this situation because it was something that you thought was going to make a difference in your life. And the Daughter of Wands here is saying that while you may have thought that initially, you now are wondering where that feeling came from. You're not even sure whether or not you can reconnect with your motivation to complete this project here. Let's go ahead and move on to May here. All right, so for May here, Aries, you have the Nine of Swords in reverse. I'm not gonna lie, Aries, so far 2024 is looking a little rough for you right at this very beginning. You're having a lot of second thoughts about this situation, and you are experiencing anxiety over whether or not that you are making the right choice. You may feel trapped as though you have nowhere else to go, and yet you are still being plagued with this feeling of impending doom. The Nine of Swords in reverse indicates that you have been feeling stuck for quite some time, and that you are looking for a way out. You have been giving your all to this situation, and you have been trying to make things work for a very long time. And you are at this point where you are no longer connected with this project. You feel stuck as though you have no other choice but to complete this and see this thing through to the end. Let's move on to pulling your 3 cards for the month, and we'll see where that feeling takes you, this 9 of Swords. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. So at the beginning here, Aries, you have the 5 of Wands in reverse. With the 5 of Wands in reverse, there has been a lot of conflict occurring here. And you are not wanting anything to do with this. And yet you find yourself stuck in the middle of it. There is all sorts of crossed wires, miscommunication, and things occurring around you. And you are stuck in the middle of it. There's a lot of people trying to insert their influence over this situation. I kind of get the feeling of multiple bosses trying to micromanage, and they keep saying and they keep contradicting each other. This is the energy of having too many cooks in the kitchen. Everybody's trying to be in charge, and nobody wants to be a follower. Everybody's trying to be a leader without having good teamwork. So this could be a reason why you do not want to be in this situation anymore, is that you feel as though this team is falling apart at the seams here. But not all hope is lost for you here, Aries, for the month of May, because in the middle and the end of May here, you have the 3 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. The 3 of Pentacles says that you might be finding teamwork and collaboration in an unconventional way. With all this conflict and these crossed wires occurring, you find camaraderie with a team member or even someone of similar thinking to yourself that helps you push through. Maybe this is a friend or a partner who has been working with you on this project, and you feel as though you guys are finally getting down to the teamwork and camaraderie. That even though you are in this situation, you want to leave and you might be suffering from anxiety, you have someone who has your back through this. And this person is the reason that you have been staying in this place for so long. At the end of May here, you have the Page of Wands. And pages in the tarot deck are messengers. They bring in and learn from experiences. With this being a Wands card, the Page of Wands, this says that you have a new opportunity or a new inspiration coming in for you here. The Page of Wands says that you have been through this desert. You have been walking through this time here of no water, and you have been putting your nose to that grindstone, and finally you are coming up on this renewed sense of inspiration. Maybe this is somebody coming in with an offer for you for a new project or a new opportunity. This could also just be you revamping your own feelings with this friendship here. This friendship here and collaboration on this project. You might be feeling like you can weather the storm a little bit better because you have this friendship, this camaraderie here occurring. So not all hope is lost here with this Ace of Swords situation for you. But whatever the case may be here, Aries, you are finally starting to see a little bit of a reprieve in May from this confusing time that you have been experiencing. Let's move on to June. We are halfway through the year, and Aries, you got the 3 of Swords for the month of June. So Three of Swords here usually indicates heartbreak or an upset within your life, something that is a painful situation that happens. So, Aries, I would approach June with a little bit of caution. This Three of Swords here, to me, says that you have finally reached a breaking point with this Ace of Swords situation. And let's pull some cards here and see what June specifically has in store, because we need to know what that Three of Swords situation is. All right. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So June. Three of Swords for the month of June, and the beginning of June we have the Eight of Swords here. So this is saying that something is making you feel trapped. As we were saying earlier, you feel trapped in this situation. You feel like you have no way to get out of it, that no one is on your side, and you feel like you are alone in this. You feel like that there is so much that has gone on and that you have no control left over what is happening to you in this situation. This is also a card of self-imposed restrictions, limiting beliefs. This is you feeling stuck because of where you have put yourself into this box. And that is simply not true for you, Aries. You have the ability to influence your life and change things around you. And this Eight of Swords, is an indication of your mental state, that this painful experience you're having with that Ace of Swords is leaving you feeling trapped and like you have no other choice to make. In the middle of June, we have the Eight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Seven of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So this to me says that you are feeling trapped in this situation and you feel like you have all of these options and nowhere to go. You have so many choices ahead of you and you feel like you can't pick a singular one because there is so much available to you and you can't figure out a specific direction to take. Which at the end of June leads you into this impulsive energy here with the Knight of Swords. You have so much available to you that you just say F it and choose the first thing that comes to mind. You choose with impulsiveness rather than taking the time to evaluate, which could be exactly what got you into that Three of Swords in the first place. This feeling of having so many options and trying to figure out the best one or the worst one and then rushing into the first thing that pops up for you is what's going to lead you into trouble. You have to be able to sit back and trust your intuition for the year with that High Priestess. You need to be able to learn how to trust your intuition on this situation, not leaving things up to chance, and really learning to connect with yourself and what your heart is telling you about this situation. These two cards tell me that you have been settling. You have been allowing things to move without influencing them and just accepting them as they come, as opposed to really putting thought and decisive action behind specific things within your life. So just keep that in mind for June. You need to connect with your intuition because otherwise you're going to be rushing into and making a choice that is really one that needs careful thought and consideration. You want to connect with this project and you want to move forward with intention and inspiration behind the things that you're doing. And impulsive action is not the way to get there. You need to connect with your intuition and take decisive, singular action towards a singular goal, one step at a time. All right, we're moving on to July here for you. Look, we have that Seven of Cups in reverse again. So in June, you had the Seven of Cups in reverse for the middle of the month. And now we are seeing it occur again for the month of July. So yes, there are a lot of options available to you. You have so many choices available that you don't know which one to pick. In the upright of this card, I'm only flipping it upright so you can see the image a little bit clearer. But you can see that all of these cups are filled with different things. Some carrying, some opportunities bringing love, some opportunities bringing happiness, or connecting with your higher intuition, and some opportunities even bringing a snake into your midst, something that is not going to help you but hurt you instead. And with this being in reverse, you have so many options available to you. You feel blind to what it is that you actually want. You do not have a sense of direction. And this is here to remind you to get clear about what it is that you want. Take some time to really dive deep internally and figure out where your heart is. Because Aries, you get this reputation of being impulsive, and really what it is you following your heart in a present moment, which can be a little bit nearsighted. You need to try to expand your thinking outward so that you are making decisions not for short term, but for the long term. Really being clear about the pros and cons so that you are making a decision with your best interest in mind. Let's pull your 3 cards for July here. Oop, we had 2 and 3. Let's see. Okay. Really love to see this here for you, Aries. We have the Chariot for the beginning of July. We have the 6 of Wands for the middle and the Wheel of Fortune at the end. This is a great positive outlook for you here, Aries. With that 7 of Cups being in the reverse for the month of July and having all of these positive cards, I feel as though even though you might not have a clear sense of direction, even though things have been moving a little bit off for you, it leads you right into where you want to be, or it at least gets you started on the path where you want to go. The Chariot here is fast-paced action, so stuff might start happening really, really fast for you here in July. Maybe you took on a new opportunity or new authority at your work. Maybe you took up a management position, or you started creating your own company and now you are a business owner in this situation, and things are picking up the pace. Things are starting to happen really, really fast for you here. And you're starting to finally see things get a move on, starting to feel like you have actual momentum in your life. And this momentum that you're working towards is this sense of victory here with the 6 of Wands. Now, the 6 of Wands in this tarot deck, we have a knight here who's celebrating at a tournament, and the green that his horse is wearing is meant to represent that this knight, this person, is green and is someone who has not seen combat yet. So this is a very confident person who is also still a beginner at this time. This is a person who is still being initiated into their workplace, their association. But they are moving in with a sense of confidence and a sense of already having won before they even start. So this is how you need to be approaching this situation, or this is how you are going to be approaching this new opportunity. And this is a great mindset to have moving forward into a new situation. Acting as though you are already a winner. They say that you should dress or approach a job or opportunity as though you already have it. When you manifest, you speak as though you already have it. And this is the energy that I'm getting, is that you see a victory ahead for you, you see a new opportunity, and even though you are new, you're going to approach this situation like you have done this professionally for years. And finally, at the end of July, you have this Wheel of Fortune card here. This Wheel of Fortune card is an indication that things are changing in your favor at last. So for these first 6 months of 2024, we have seen and talked about contemplating whether or not your situation is truly working for you, whether or not it is time to walk away. And something happens here in July that changes your fortune for the better. You're starting to see more positive feelings or associations towards this thing. And you are starting to really get excited about the changes and things moving forward for you. Let's take a look at what August has for you, Aries, because I'm really excited with these 3 cards here to see what changes happen in August. So let's take a look. Look at that. You have the beautiful star card here, Aries. I absolutely love this for you for the month of August. This is, to me, a very, very important card because the star card in the tarot is the first card in the major arcana after the Tower event. If you're familiar with tarot, you know that the Tower is sometimes associated with these painful or transformative event endings. And the star is meant to signify finding hope, that light in the darkness after a painful experience. So Aries, for the month of August, you are finding your light. You are keeping your eye on the positive side of things, your optimism, and following this one point of focus. Stars were used to navigate for hundreds of years before we ever had things like GPS and modern navigational equipment. The stars were used to guide people, and this star is the one that you focus on. It's meant to represent your North Star that you keep an eye on to navigate yourself in the dark. This could be reconnecting with your thing that keeps you going even when you are facing difficult times. This is your optimism. This is the true light, that point that you are trying to strive for, whether this be your eventual happiness or whether this be following your true path and keeping yourself aligned with your higher self, with the highest intention. This is a really, really beautiful card to have after all of these months of trouble. This is you keeping your eye on the prize, keeping your eye on the happiness that you want to achieve, and navigating beautifully through this situation. Let's pull your 3 cards for August and see what you have in store. All right, let's take a look. So starting off for the beginning of August, we have we have the 2 of Swords. So with the Star and the 2 of Swords, you are being asked to make a choice and take action between 2 separate choices. The Star card is you reconnecting with your light, your purpose, and understanding that maybe things right now are not moving the way that you want them to, and you are being asked to make a choice, whether to follow yourself towards that light and cut off from the things that are draining you, or to move forward into, or to keep things as they are. Even making no choice or trying to choose nothing is an option. They say that inaction is a choice and action. So even if you feel like you don't want to make a choice, your choice is being made for you in that moment. Unless you take decisive action forward, life is going to be moving the way that it is always. And if you don't make a choice to change your situation, life will change it for you. And life will keep you in the same direction that you've been going. So you're being asked to evaluate whether you want to keep going in the direction you have been, or if you're ready to make the change, ready to cut off something or change something about what your situation is to move forward. And let's see. This choice here is something that is really holding you back. The Devil card here represents our limiting beliefs. It can also represent things like our addictions or things that we are holding on to that may or may not be good for us. So this could be unhealthy habits, addictions. This could be unhealthy relationships with people. Whatever the case may be, there's something in this situation that is keeping you here. Whether it be because you are comfortable and you have been in this situation for a while now, that you feel more comfortable with the devil you know than the devil that you don't know. Whatever the case may be about this situation, there's something here that is keeping you here. Maybe you have been stuck in a victim mentality and you have been liking the attention you've been getting from this negative situation that you have been in. Whatever the case may be, something here is causing you to reevaluate whether or not this is where you want to stay. This decision here, you have the power available to you to choose a different option, to choose whether to follow your light and to keep moving in the direction of your true heart and where it is that you want to end up. You have the choice to either move on or stay stuck in this darkness, in this hell that you have created for yourself. And for the end of August, you have this Six of Pentacles in reverse. The Six of Pentacles in reverse indicates that there is something here that you are unwilling to give to this situation. That there might be something happening here where you are feeling like you have to spend more than you've been earning on this situation or this opportunity. You may even be feeling like you have nothing else left to give to whatever is happening here. And these two cards at the end of August here, the Devil and the Six of Pentacles in reverse, is asking whether or not this situation is still worth it to you. You have the option to make a choice, and you are experiencing lack of monetary resources because of it, and you might even be feeling like you are stuck or in a poisonous or toxic environment. You have the option and opportunity to move forward, and it might even be something that has you take a pay cut if you do end up making that decision. You might see a pay cut, but you have to ask yourself whether a pay cut or this opportunity, you're going to have to ask yourself what it is worth to you and whether the cost is worth it to you to either stay or move forward. Let's move into September here, Aries. September, you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So if this is job related, you might be moving into September feeling like you took a pay cut or you lowered your hours at work and now you're experiencing a little bit of a financial squeeze here. Queen of Pentacles is also the feeling of our wealth and abundance. So whether or not you have money is somewhat relevant. This more has to do with how you feel about the situation, how you feel about your wealth and abundance. Even if you have more money in your bank account, you might still be feeling poor. You might still be feeling like you don't have enough to take care of what it is that you need, or to have enough to splurge on those material things that you want, your material comforts. So you might be feeling a bit of a financial squeeze. I know September is the start of school for a lot of people, so maybe after some school shopping or financial aid, the start of the school year, you might be feeling a little bit of a financial squeeze here. Let's take a look and see what the rest of September has for you. We'll pull your 3 cards. Ooh, all right. I love to see this. Let's see. We have the Page of Swords for the beginning of September. So even though this situation and making this choice from the month of August might have left you feeling financially poor, but it has left you with a newfound sense of purpose. The Page of Swords here is actually holding the Ace of Swords from our January reading. January and March, we had the Ace of Swords, one in the upright and one in the reverse. The Page of Swords here is actually holding the Ace of Swords. So this is you reconnecting and taking up that mantle again. This might not necessarily be under the same job situation, especially if you did choose to leave this situation. But this is you reconnecting with a similar frame of mind, a similar desire to see through your thoughts and your intentions. As we said earlier, pages are messengers, so this could also be somebody bringing in a message of a new opportunity. Or this could even be the previous opportunity that you left trying to come knocking again. So either way, there is the Ace of Swords energy present again here in the month of September. And you're going to have to really trust your intuition. And we see that here with the Moon card here. The Moon is all about trusting your intuition. The Moon is the deep, dark recesses of our psyche, of our minds. This is where we really start to think about and get into the nitty-gritty of our baser instincts, our intuition, the things that we think about, and our inner being. So this is you connecting with towards that High Priestess in reverse energy that we were talking about for your year. This is you finally feeling that piece of yourself speaking to you, feeling your intuition, and with this Ace of Swords energy coming back, you finally have the experience to trust your intuition about how to move forward with this revival of this Ace of Swords energy. Maybe you're trusting your intuition and you decide that this opportunity that's coming back for you is not one that you want to take up again. Maybe you trust your intuition and you decide that it is worth your energy. Whatever the case may be, whatever choice you make with trusting your intuition, it's going to require inner strength at the end of September for you. The Strength card here is obviously inner strength. It's meant to It's more than just physical strength. It relates to your inner strength and the ability to push through. This is you feeling strong and confident in your actions, your decisions, and your ability to see this thing through. This choice that you made on the Ace of Swords. So having this card here, regardless of whether you choose to follow through or choose to leave this thing behind, you are being asked to come into this situation with a lot of inner strength, understanding that you do have the power. Now that you have gone through the situation, you see things from a different perspective, and you now have a clear view on what you're able to handle and what you are not. And there is no shame in saying that you cannot handle a situation because you are aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. And you are aware of how much you can realistically give to this situation. Let's move on to October, Aries. You have the Justice card here for the month of October. So Justice here, really love to see it, especially after that decision and coming up with your choice forward. Justice is about choice, but it's also about making sure that things are equal, that what you are putting into a situation is what you are getting out of the situation. That you can put a lot of effort and energy into something, but it is not worth it if it leaves you feeling drained at the end of the day. Sometimes it is worth it if it leaves you feeling drained because you know that eventually you will have a good return on it. But the Justice card is you evaluating the ins and outs of this situation, the input and output that you're getting. This could also be you getting actual justice on a situation. So for some of you, this could be justice in actual legal matters happening here. But I see this more as things balancing out for you. You finally understanding the your intuition that we've been saying for the year. This could be you finally getting to the point where you can hear those little messages from your intuition and listening to your body and your soul, your spirit, and feeling like you have a clear idea forward, feeling like you have a good understanding on what it is that you need, and being able to listen to your heart. So let's go ahead, we'll pull our 3 cards for the month of October here. I know this has been a very long video. Thank you guys for sticking around if you're still here. This is a lot of information for a full year, so feel free to pause the video and take a break. Maybe come back to it and, see how you're feeling in a little bit. All right, we got 1, 2, and 3. Wow, okay. So we were saying that things are moving forward in a positive direction for you. And I feel like this is very, very good month for you, Aries, for the month of October. So Justice card for the month of October, our October full energy here, is understanding give and take and what's important for you. And the Magician here at the very beginning of October is the alchemist of the tarot here. The Magician is the one who has the magic to be able to make things happen. The Magician is the alchemist, the person who can take one thing and turn it into something else. They're able to move energy and put it to where it needs to go. And the Justice card is all about making sure that you're putting energy where it belongs. The Magician card is the person who has the influence, the ability to manifest and create the things that they want. In the card here, you can see that the Magician has the wand, the cup, the pentacle, and the sword. And it's meant to indicate that this person has all the tools available to them and that they have dominion over all 4 of the tarot suits, which all indicate states of emotional being. Your intellect, your emotions, your creative ability, and your money, your abundance, your wealth, your ability to create. And so the Magician is a person who knows their wealth, knows their abundance, and knows how to create and move things in order to create a different outcome. So Aries, this is you being able to feel like you have influence over your life. This is you manifesting and starting to trust that you have the power and the tools to create what you want to create. And then we move into the middle of October with the 4 of Wands in reverse. So this kind of feels like a little bit of a hiccup in the middle of the month. This can indicate sometimes it can indicate relationship troubles, but I've always seen the 4 of Wands card here as a portal into a new dimension or a new state of being. This is meant to indicate a marriage with 2 wands here, And you see these people standing on the other side of these wands. It's meant to indicate crossing the threshold, moving from unmarried single life into married life. So it's furthering that this card doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get married or that you'll have a bad marriage or anything like that. This is that portal, that transformation of one person to two, the new relationship and moving forward. So I feel like something is keeping you from feeling like you are in this new state, portal jumping, if you will. You may be feeling like you are on the threshold of a new life or a new state of being for yourself, but you just haven't quite gotten to that point yet. There's still a little bit of work to do before you have this full actualization of stepping into this new energy. But I feel like with the rest of the month so far, you're doing pretty good. So don't be too hard on yourself for not achieving that new portal or that step into your new dimension. You know, understand things happen with their own time and that you are at least on the threshold of this new transformation. And finally, at the end of October, we see the Three of Cups. We love to see this cup. This is camaraderie. This is having fun with your friends. And with this being at the end of October, for some of you, this could just be having really, really fun Halloween parties with your buddies. You know, we love to see it. Finding things to do to fill that cup of your emotions. How we've been saying for the first part of the year, a lot of what was going on for you, Aries, was feeling drained and feeling like you don't have the emotional energy to give to this situation. So while the Three of Cups might be fun with people or friends, I feel like this is also you, Aries, finally finding a piece of yourself again. Finding that thing that makes you feel rejuvenated and reconnecting with your feelings and reconnecting with that emotional growth and expansion that you have been looking for. I feel like this is you finding that missing piece that you have been trying to figure out. So I feel like October is a very, very good time for you, Aries. Let's move on to November. All right. November, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So you remember how in October we were saying that you were on the threshold of a new dimension, a new state of being? Well, the Knight of Pentacles here is a person who has crossed this threshold. I feel like in November you see yourself cross this threshold, but you have not started work on the other side of it. So maybe you have finally gotten to this point where you have been working on your emotions, you have been working on whatever it is that you have been working on, and you are now in a space where you are being asked to put these lessons into practice. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is this person who needs to put these new tools into action, but they're hesitating. There is some work here that still needs to be done that you have not gotten started on yet. And let's take a look and see what the rest of the month of November has. Got 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So at the beginning of November, we have the Five of Swords in reverse. So this, to me, is saying that you, Aries, are choosing to step away from a conflict. You're choosing to step away from a fight. There is some sort of argument or misagreement going on, and you are choosing to not engage with it anymore. This could be all sorts of different things. This could be in a relationship, an argument. This could be work stuff, not getting along with your boss or your coworker, and you're just choosing to stay in your lane, ignore what's going on. Not ignore. You're choosing to take the high road here, Aries. You're choosing to make the better choice and to not engage in this banter that is below you. And I really like this. You've stepped into this threshold of this new energy of not fighting for things that are not important. And see, even though we said the Knight of Pentacles was someone who needed to do more work, who has not started work on this threshold, I wouldn't worry about it too much, because this Two of Wands here in the middle of November is you making a decision, taking up that mantle, and finally getting to a point where you feel ready to start planting those seeds. You finally feel ready to start on this journey or this process that you're going through. After moving through that portal into a higher state of being, and what I mean by portal is like a transformation process. A transformative process has occurred that leaves you feeling like a different person on the other side. And this Two of Wands here is showing that you have made a decision. You are moving in a direction. And you see here with this Knight of Pentacles how they're holding this ball here, this globe, or this pentacle here. That's exactly what this Two of Wands here is holding. This is meant to represent the world. It's meant to represent that you have a load of opportunities ahead of you, and you are looking towards brighter and better things in the future instead of looking towards the past. That Knight of Pentacles was holding a world of opportunity that the Two of Pentacles is also holding. So even though the month of November you felt like you were not moving, or that you felt like you still had a bunch of work to do, this is you deciding on a direction, and this is you receiving abundance from that choice, from that new direction. So choosing to not engage in this conflict, choosing a new direction, and to move in different ways, Aries, leads you to this place of abundance. It leads you to this place where you feel like you have received riches or recognition or emotional wealth and abundance from making a different choice here. I really love to see this for you, Aries, because this shows me that even though we go through hard times and we put in the hard work, we sow our rewards. We get what we put into something. And this is you getting what you have put in. You've put in this hard work to understand your intuition, to start to follow your instincts, and to allow your instincts to guide you to this new place. And this is this new place that you're being guided to. You're being guided to this place of wealth and abundance, where you feel like you are finally getting what is due to you. And for the last month of 2024, Aries, let's take a look at December. So you have the Four of Swords in reverse. So the Four of Swords in reverse says that you are in a place of pause or self-imposed rest. So you have gotten to this point here, Aries, where you have put in a lot of hard work towards changing things, making new decisions, and you are ready to take a bit of a breather here. You are ready to take a bit of a break. The Four of Swords being in reverse can sometimes mean that you feel like you don't have the space yet to take a breather, but you are feeling called to take a break and relax. And with this being December, this is a lot of holiday months for a lot of different religions and, situations, holidays. Holidays can be very, very stressful. They can be very involved for a lot of us. There can be a lot going on. And so with everything going on in December, maybe you feel like you can't take a break or a breather, but you are at least aware that you need one, which is a very good thing for you, Aries. If you're aware that you need one, you can start to try to make the opportunity for rest available to yourself. All right, we're going to pull our 3 cards here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, wow. So remember how we started January? January's month card was the Queen of Swords in reverse. And now for the beginning of December of 2024, you have the Queen of Swords in the upright. So a full 12 months later, and you are now finally in this place where you have a clear direction. You have taken that confusing Queen of Swords in reverse energy from January and you have flipped it on its head. You are looking back on the year and you are realizing that you are in a different headspace. You are a new person and you have new thoughts, ideas, feelings, inspirations, and you are ready to start to see these plans take action and take root. You also have the 6 of Swords in the upright here as well for December. This is towards the middle. 6 of Swords is about allowing the past to lay where it is and to move on. You can see that this person and these people here in the boat are moving on through the waters, and despite everything that has gone on, they are moving through it. This sword situation, they're allowing themselves to start to think ahead and move on from the situations of the past. So December, I'm feeling like you're getting this inspiration where you feel like with the 4 of Swords in reverse, you feel like it's time to rest, but you have all of these new ideas and inspirations for yourself that you are just ready to move on. You are ready to move on from this place. You don't want to think about it anymore. You don't want to keep ruminating in it. You're finally ready to leave it behind. And finally, for the end of December, you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which is actually the card that we saw for November, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse here. So ending 2024, you are ready to take the next step into your situation. The Knight of Pentacles here in the upright, he's holding his pentacle over these fields. And it's to say that he has this seed, this first piece of a puzzle available to him. But he has to start the planting process and then the eventual hard work of toiling in these fields to grow a crop, to grow a return. And so for December, while you may have a clear view ahead, you might be feeling as though the time that it will take to achieve this goal is very, very long. You may be feeling impatient because you want to move on and get this planted and get things done. You're really feeling like you want to get started. You have this energy of wanting to be ready and be done. And that 4 of Swords here in reverse is saying that it's okay to take a break before moving forward. It's okay to take a breather and giving yourself the time to do so, because you're not going to do anybody any favors rushing into something. You need to be slow and you need to take consideration for what you are doing. But all in all, I feel like whatever this situation that you have gone through for 2024, this situation that has transformed you, you are finally feeling like you are almost ready to start to see a return from it. The Knight of Pentacles here is to say that it is going to take a while. It might take years for you to get to this point of abundance where you see a financial return from this new situation, but that you will eventually get to this point. Okay, my lovelies, that is the 2024 reading for you, Aries. I want to pull one card from here from my Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck. I want to give you one card for the year ahead, one message from Spirit to move forward with, and to keep a reminder for the year ahead. So let's shuffle one more time and we'll see what we get. Aries, your message for 2024 is I surrender to a power greater than me. So Aries, you're being called to surrender to a greater power, and to that greater power is your intuition. Your intuition cannot be greater than you because it is you. Surrendering to a power greater is understanding that your thoughts and your feelings can be influenced by your ego and your experiences and whatever you are identifying yourself with. But your higher self, your intuition, your truest self, is the part of you that is free from all these associations. It is the true essence of your being. And surrendering to that is what allows you to get into contact with it again. Allowing yourself to trust in your intuition because it is without the influence of your ego. Allowing yourself to trust yourself and where you are going is what's going to be the most important thing for you, to learn how to trust your intuition and move forward. So anyways, I know this was a long reading. Thank you so much for being here, Aries. I really am happy to see where this 2024 goes for you. I hope that you enjoyed the reading and have a lovely, happy new year.